Greetings, welcome to Facts About Everything. I'm your host, James Egan. And today, on the final day of Bond month, we'll be just looking at James Bond in general, including the novels and the writer. Let's look at the writer Ian Fleming. Ian Fleming wrote 12 Bond novels. He was born in 1907 in London. JFK was a huge Bond fan and had dinner with Ian Fleming. Fleming told JFK that he should humiliate and kill Cuban ruler Fidel Castro. Ian Fleming said that James Bond is the dullest name I ever heard. He wrote 10 Bond novels while in Jamaica. When Fleming finished writing his first Bond novel, Casino Royale, he celebrated by buying a gold-plated typewriter. Pierce Brosnan eventually bought this typewriter for $52,000. Only 4 of Fleming's books have yet to be adapted into a movie: The Property of a Lady, The Hildebrand Rarity, 007 in New York, and Rosico. Fleming based James Bond on a spy he actually worked with during World War II called Merlin Minchall. He was portrayed by Sean Connery's son, Jason, in the 1990 film The Secret Life of Ian Fleming. He used to smoke 70 cigarettes and drank a bottle of gin every day. He was a member of the British Intelligence Service and worked with the American Office of Strategic Services, which was the predecessor of the CIA. He actually helped the Americans set up the CIA. When asked if he shared any similarities to James Bond, he said, "Apart from the fact that he wears the same clothes that I wear, he and I have very little in common." He died in 1964 at the age of 56, only 2 years after Dr. No was released. He died on his son's birthday. James Bond is not a secret agent. British agents don't intentionally engage in violent missions. What James Bond does would classify him as an intelligence officer. James Bond is known as 007. It has been mentioned that 002, 003, 004, and 009 were killed at some point. Absolutely nothing has been said about 001 or 005. 008 has been mentioned once. Sean Connery had a brother called Neil who starred in a Bond parody called Operation Kid Brother. This 1967 film's original title was OK Conroy. It was met with abysmal reviews. Alice Cooper wrote a song for a Bond film, but it wasn't used. Felix Leiter has been played by 8 actors throughout the series. Steven Spielberg asked the Bond producers if he could make a film, but he was rejected. Bond's birthday is on November the 11th. Sean Connery was pulled over by a police officer for speeding. The cop's name was James Bond. There was an animated show called James Bond Jr.
James Bond Jr. No one can stop him, but scum always tries. Young Bond cuts through each web of spies.
God, that show is terrible. Despite what the title implies, the main character was Bond's nephew, not his son. He would battle against the criminal organization Scum, which means saboteurs and criminals united in mayhem, and would battle Jaws, Odd Job, Dr. No. Why is Dr. No green? Can someone genuinely tell me the real reason why he's green? I have a theory it's because he looks like a Fu Manchu villain, which is racist to Asians. I mean, they did the same thing with the Mandarin in the Iron Man cartoon. He's a Fu Manchu character, and they turned him green. So, to not upset Asians, you make the Asians green aliens. As if that's less offensive. Seriously, James Bond, you've been racist to Asians since 1967. Lay off him. After Die Another Day, the James Bond series was in severe jeopardy and they didn't know how to reboot it. At one point, they were considering making it more kiddie by turning it into James Bond Jr., the movie, with Orlando Bloom as a titular character. There's a 1975 Bond parody film called From Hong Kong with Love. It even stars the original M and Miss Moneypay. It was met with really bad reviews. There's an asteroid called 9007 James Bond that was discovered in 1983. The title of every Bond film is set at some point in each movie. Bond has killed at least 362 people throughout the 24 official films, which means that he killed over 10 times more than serial killer Ted Bundy. And James Bond's a hero, apparently. The most recent James Bond novel is a 2015 story, Trigger Mortis. There have been 53 Bond girls throughout the 24 official movies. Bond has slept with at least 70 women throughout the series. The Bond franchise has made over $6.8 billion. Longtime producer Albert R. Broccoli made it a rule to never go back to the same place twice in order to insert as many exotic locations as possible in the series. Dr. No, From Russia with Love, and Goldfinger are the highest rated Bond films according to the critic website Rotten Tomatoes. They have a Metacritic score of 96%. Casino Royale has 95%, and Skyfall has 93%. Liam Neeson was repeatedly asked to play Bond, but he turned it down because he had no interest in doing an action film. Ironically, he became a huge action star after performing in Taken in 2008. There is an unofficial Bond TV movie that was released 8 years before Dr. No. This 58-minute long film is called Casino Royale and is based on Fleming's first novel. Barry Nelson plays Bond. He is most well known for playing the hotel manager in The Shining. Peter Lorre plays the villain Le Chiffre. He's best known for playing Ugarte in Casablanca, Hans in M, and Cairo in The Maltese Falcon.
But you probably recognise him as that crazy guy in Daffy Duck cartoons.
The film was met with very poor reviews. Ian Fleming was only paid $1,000 for the film. And the final fact about James Bond. There's been a theory on the internet for years that James Bond is just a code name used by agents. This would explain why there are multiple people going by the same name. The strongest argument for this is when George Lazenby acknowledges that he replaced Sean Connery in On Her Majesty's Secret Service.
This never happened to the other fella.
However, this theory is very easy to disprove. Bond's wife Tracy dies in On Her Majesty's Secret Service. Bond visits her grave in For Your Eyes Only when the character was played by Roger Moore. Also, if Bond is a code name, why does her gravestone say Bond? And that concludes Bond Month. My jaw is actually quite sore. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if there's anything else you want me to do in the future, and let me know if you want me to dedicate a month to another thing, another topic like a TV shows or video games or comics or whatever.
Special thanks to these fine people for all their help. Be sure to subscribe to Facts About Everything. Follow me on Twitter for updates on upcoming videos. Check out my Facebook page to let me know what subjects you want me to talk about in the future.
Thank you so much for watching. See you again.